What's going on, guys? Ryan O'Toole back here again doing part 3 of my Bourne collaboration. It's okay, guys, I'm back. I didn't get killed by a spirit in my previous video. I'm here doing part 3 of my collaboration, and I have a special guest, and his name is Virtual Tyler.
Oh, so pumped to be on your channel, Ryan. Thank you so much for having me on here. I'm such a pleasure.
No problem, man. Welcome to the channel. Tyler, it's a pleasure to have you on here. It was a blast doing the first 2 movies on your channel. Now we're here talking about the Bourne Ultimatum. And this movie is all about Jason Bourne escaping from Moscow, and he's injured, and he's having flashbacks to where he is remembering how he became this assassin, Jason Bourne. And it's about his journey to discover the truth, and the CIA is finding out more information on him, and David Strathairn is taking the charge and trying to kill Jason Bourne, while Joan Allen is trying to find out the truth. And so it culminates into an hour and 45 minutes of this intense action movie where Jason Bourne is discovering who he is.
Bourne Ultimatum stars Matt Damon once again reprising his role as Jason Bourne and destroying that role, making it the most badass it's ever been. As well beside him is Julia Stiles, Scott Glenn, and David Strathairn, who is a guy who just really wants to kill Jason Bourne in this movie.
Well, Tyler and I have a lot of positives to say. Tyler, what did you like about this movie?
Well, there's a lot to really say about this movie, to be honest with you, because it's my favorite in the Bourne series. I don't really have any problems with it, to be honest with you, and I mean, I just love everything about this movie, all the way from Matt Damon's confidence in the role as Jason Bourne, all the side characters, the action, from the hand-to-hand combat to the car chase sequences. It was all done so well, including where I reached an ending where I was getting chills by how intense this ending was and how not heartfelt, but how emotional it was getting with this character.
I absolutely love the action sequences in this movie. It is hands down the best action out of any of the 3 films. There's one fight scene that blew me away, and that is the fight between Bourne and Desh. It really is this 5 to 10 minute sequence of a motorcycle chase, a running chase, a rooftop chase, and jumping through windows into a house fight. It is so fantastic. Paul Greengrass really nailed this, and the intensity of it, the high stakes, it just really culminated throughout this entire movie.
Oh my god, the Desh fight scene was so freaking awesome, with the environment basically like crumbling around them, like smashing into bookcases, all that stuff. It was so sick looking. Love that fight scene. I never had my jaw just drop throughout the entire series, except for that just one scene. Really just nailed me, and I freaking loved it.
Matt Damon, he really is this character. He embodies what Jason Bourne is, and finding out that Matt Damon was going to play him, people hated it, and now people love him as this character. He is just too damn good, and not just the action. He's really good acting-wise as this character. He portrays the emotions, the drive of what Jason Bourne has to do, and Matt Damon just blows me away as this character.
Oh yeah, going back on what I said, Matt Damon is so much more confident as this role as Jason Bourne, and towards the very ending scenes of the film, I really felt for his character. Throughout the flashbacks of the film, I felt for his character. That's the thing about this film compared to the other ones. This one, you really actually feel emotion for him. And I loved some of the ending scenes where he's coming to terms with everything that he's done and everything that's happened. And it's just so amazing to see this character develop throughout all 3 films and now have this emotional but also action-packed finale, as well as some of the other characters that were really, really good, like Julia Stiles and David Strathairn.
Julia Stiles does have a big part in this movie compared to the other 2 movies, and she really is an important part of the story. Her relationship with Bourne is fantastic. I love her chemistry with him, and I think she really plays a big part in what she's trying to tell Bourne, the information he wants to know. And Julia Stiles does a fantastic job portraying her. I also love David Strathairn in this movie. I thought he was a fantastic villain, and his motivation seemed really daunting. The fact that he wants to kill Bourne, it's just he's exactly like Chris Cooper, and I think his motivations really make him out who he is, and Strathern does a fantastic job.
I think all those characters were fantastic too, Ryan, and also I would just say that like the beginning portions of this movie and all the flashback stuff in this movie, so a lot of this movie actually does take place before the ending of Bourne Supremacy, and I thought that was really, really weird at first when watching the movie, but to be honest, I feel like that might have been the best thing for the movie, because honestly, this movie from beginning to end is just near flawless, and I just loved it, and I felt like it was the best direction for the series as well as the best storytelling the series has ever had.
I really love Paul Greengrass's improvement of the shaky cam in the action sequences. For example, in that fight with Bourne versus Desh, I thought Greengrass did a fantastic job on making the camera more noticeable, understanding what was going on. I thought in Supremacy, that fight in the house, it didn't look that great, and he big time improves it here. It looks so clear. I have to commend him for improving the shaky cam in the movie.
Whoa, Ryan. Now, in my last review, I did state about how much I loved the newspaper fight scene, and I still do love that fight scene, but I can completely see where you're coming from on the whole entire Bourne Ultimatum. Did have way better camera work when it came up to the fight scene inside that movie. I feel like this is probably the best fight scene throughout the entire Bourne franchise, and I would agree with you on that. I didn't see this movie in a very long time before I saw it just the other day. Bourne Supremacy, I still love the newspaper fight scene. I still think it was amazing choreography, but I would completely agree that this one does have better camera work. But to be honest, almost everything in this film is considerably better than the first two films, in my opinion.
The pacing and the dialogue in this movie is fantastic, and this movie, it's a really fast-paced action movie. There is not a dull moment at all in this film. And I really thought the dialogue was very intense and interesting, and that all goes to the screenwriter, Tony Gilroy, and what he has been doing based off on the novels by Robert Ludlum. It's just fantastic writing, and they're all done incredibly well by the actors in this movie. Tyler, I do have to say I only have one flaw with this movie, and it's really minor, but there's this bad guy in the movie. There's this one character, I forgot his name, but he is mentioned a lot of times, and they barely even used him. His character really didn't have a big part in the story. I'm just saying it's something I noticed while watching this movie, and I would have liked a little bit more of an explanation as to who he is. But his name is just mentioned, and that's really the only flaw I can think of. Tyler, what things did you not like about this movie?
I think you may have been referring to Neil Daniels, who was played by a guy, I think his name is Cullen Stanton, I think. Could be wrong there, but I think that might be the character that you're referring to when you say the villain that was just kind of mentioned and wasn't really talked about that much. He was in the movie for about like a few minutes, and they mention him here and then. He's supposed to be like this huge part of Treadstone, but yet like he doesn't really have that big of a role in the movie. I kind of always just saw that it was like a plot device just to get Matt Damon to keep on moving through the story, because that was what really people were pumped for. Your point was definitely valid about how he was an underdeveloped villain. He was just kind of thrown into the mix. I just kind of more saw him as a plot device, and I didn't really see that as much of a bad thing as maybe you did. And honestly, Ryan, I don't really have any problems with this movie. I have really liked the first two Bourne movies, and this is the first one I think I can actually say I loved this movie. I feel like that this film just doesn't really have any big problems to me at all, like nothing that was too big at all. I would say there may be a couple like little tiny nitpicks, like I mean, him swimming away at the very end, I felt like really quick shot of him swimming away was a little bit of a cop-out ending, but at the same exact time, a lot of people could argue that it isn't. And also, I mean, the whole entire villain thing that you're bringing up, I would consider that a nitpick as well. But besides some nitpicks, I really did not have a single problem with this movie.
I totally agree with you, man. This movie is by far the best in the Bourne trilogy. I absolutely loved it. The action's amazing. The characters are amazing. The stakes are incredible. And this is just one of the best action movies ever made, in my opinion. And I'm also going to give this movie a 5 out of 5 stars.
For me, I'm going to give this movie a 9.5 out of 10, just due to some small nitpicks here and then. And 9.5 and up is literally basically a perfect, flawless film. it's just nitpicks from there that make it from getting a 9.5 to a 10. That's really what I do. So it's also going to receive one of my trophies for being one of the best of the best. I love this film, and I just feel like this film deserves so much recognition. My favorite film in the Bourne series, and I just love it.
Thank you very much, Virtual Tyler, for coming on my channel to review the Bourne Ultimatum. Guys, I'm going to leave a link to his channel in the description box down below. Definitely go check out this guy's channel, man. He's a fantastic YouTuber. I love his content. He's very funny, and he has a love and passion for movies as much as I do. And I've had a big time pleasure on doing this Bourne collab series, and it's just been awesome.
Thanks, dude. All of this is so much fun to me to be able to do these videos, do these collab videos with you, and I cannot wait to do our final review for the Bourne Legacy on your channel again in the future.
Thank you guys for watching this video, and if you guys liked it, give it a thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe today for more content. All my social media links are in the description down below, and Tyler and I will see you in the next video. Bye!